So my name is Dinesh Kissoon from Mauritius. I've been exploring islands all over the world, and I fell in love with hospitality quite at a young age, despite being from a finance background, so who I am as a chartered accountant, and started into hospitality, managing kind of more being assets management, and then kind of fell in love with the passion driven behind delivering, high service, it's what we hospitality is known of. And so I just kind of fell in love with hospitality, tied on my cubicle office, and then I gave it a run and never looked back again. I'm in Turks and Caicos on a private island called Ambergris Key. It's a beautiful private island. It's owned by Lord Ashcroft, and as well it has a residential component. So, flashback, 10 years, as I was more into finance and banking, working for offshore banking, and then I met a wealthy investor investing into 7 islands in the Seychelles, which one turned out to become a 4-season. And that time, managing more of the assets, the development of a resort, which was called the Roche Island Private Island Resort that time. And just kind of fell in love, got my feet wet, I would say, into hospitality. And then just kind of fell in love with resort, more being on private islands. There's something about it. There's something special. And I think the challenges behind it that makes me more excited, because every day is completely different. You need to get things right. And being the person who I am, and I think with my background, I just felt you add a bit more value to leadership, management, and taking care of a resort. And then so I moved and I stayed with the Roche Island, and then became a 4-season. I was called back after the sale. I was the only person actually called back to join 4-season reopening of the Roche Island, and then never looked back. And then moved to the Caribbean with Secret Bay in Dominica, making a flagship property in the entire Caribbean. Won Travel and Leisure World Best Award 3 times in 4 years, and then headhunted to come over to Ambergris to do something even better. And I think that's why these remote places are unbelievable. And I think that's what travelers are looking at, off the beaten path. People are tired now of the city, tired of going to the same place over and again. They want something new. And especially post-COVID-19, it's been a revelation. People have more time for wellness, looking after themselves, and we call it the me time. And so it's really important, now people are spending time looking at things, ticking off his bucket list. Ambergris Cay private island, so 1,100 acres. It's really low density because you have 17 bungalows, which are all 1 bedroom, and then you have 8 villas ranging between 3 to 6 bedroom. And then this year we're adding a few more villas and 2 more 2 times 2 bedroom bungalows to the inventory. And then you have a few private homes which are owned by high net worth individuals as well on the island that are not in the relative pool. They're completely private for family and friends, and for these little quick getaways, what high net worth people would do. The private island, boasts itself with the longest private runway in the entire Caribbean, which is 5,700 feet. So we have immigration and customs here on the island for you to clear. So if you're coming straight from the US on your private jet, you're welcome to fly in straight to Ambergris Cay, and then you're literally off your private jet, toast a glass of champagne, and in your pool, in your villa. So that's what kind of experience is all about. And it's a jet to villa experience. So it's unbelievable. And I think that's why that makes the experience even more special, because you do, and you don't have to, we take care of your bags, you don't have to worry about anything. So you literally jet to villa experience. It's a world-class amenities. The resort was developed in 2019, so relatively very new. It's from 2 restaurants. It's an all-inclusive island resort. It's when you talk about all-inclusive, people think about Mexico, think about all these cheap resorts. We're not at all. It's more all gourmet dining. When I say gourmet, it's really gourmet, a la carte. Everything is curated to you, personalized. You want to have lobster for breakfast in the morning, you have it. You don't pay surcharge. This is the kind of experience that we offer. And And we fly you, even if you don't, you're flying in commercially into Providenciales, which is kind of the mainland of Turks and Caicos. We fly you on our flights, so you come in. So we Caravan Cessna, you have Navajo. We fly you from Providenciales to Ambergris in 20 minutes, free ride. You don't pay for it. So anytime, once you cleared your customs and immigration in Providenciales, you get picked up, meet and greet, chauffeur-driven limousine taking you to our FBO office, which is kind of where our lounge is, and then you take off for our flight. So it's an experience to die for, and that's why all of a sudden there's such a demand as well to invest, because you have your guests that stayed here, love it so much, want to bring family and friends, and want to invest. And that's where all of a sudden, Ambergris is coming into the radar, it's coming on the map. Which is, if you look at it on the map now, it's a little dot. You don't really see it, But I think that's what creating the whole fun part of it. But the restaurant, two world-class restaurant, the chefs well-traveled, Aman backgrounds, you name it. These people one and only, you name it. These people that's been around, mature, and have gained this experience of dealing with high net worth individuals, and at the same time being exposed to this kind of adventure and terrain. I call remote island is an adventure because it's never it's never the same every day. You have to be prepared, you have to plan, and it's fun, an adventure in a very fun way. So we have all kind of profiles. You get from honeymooners to friends traveling together, retreat, buyout, island buyout, complete buyout, where we have a buyout coming in very soon for a wedding, and then you have these guests when the youngsters want to get together, come for a party. So you do have these high net worth, but really want privacy and intimacy. You will take one of the local carpe diem, dream pavilion, really even on the south part of the island or the north part of the island where there's nobody. There's actually no one can actually come to the island, so there's no paparazzis. You're completely safe. You have only the iguanas, who will be your paparazzi. Unfortunately, we don't have access to social media yet and to technology. But I think that's what makes the island really great, because you can call in a chef. You stay at the Dream Pavilion, for example, private butler, private chef, 6-bedroom villa. You walked in, you feel like, wow, this is the best place to live in the world. You have the ocean, the breeze, the sun. It's amazing. And you don't have any neighbors making noise. We run a kids concierge program where it's very curated to you. Because I may have a 5 or 6 years old, you may have a 5 or 6 years old, they may not have the same preferences in terms of games. So we run with the kids concierge, we get to know, customize it, and understand what kind of game you enjoy to play, your kids like to play, and what kind of games my kids like to play. And then we only pair them together, you have the same preferences, to group them together. Else we run different shows on the island, so you have a playground to play, to really play around. And that's what makes it exceptional here, because you could move the kids completely on the south part of the island. Nobody will be aware that you even have kids on the island. This is how it is. And that's what makes it very special. I would say the perfect day on the island, waking up doing yoga with Ashanti. I think it's one of the best things. And lately I've been doing yoga as well, at least twice a week. And I think that's waking up, the breeze, being at the yoga pavilion. It's one of the, it's 109 feet above sea level. And, and it's stunning. And you watch there, it's picturesque, amazing panoramic view that you have. And waking up, have a breakfast, and then you go for I would say sometimes play some tennis or pickleball with Jerome, who's our tennis pro. And then right after, getting ready, get your feet wet, and go on the beach and in the ocean, and then go to hangover bar. It's kind of my favorite experience. That's a little trip to a short trip of 20 minutes on a boat ride to Little Ambergris, where it's really uncharted territory. When you look around, it's stunning. You don't see anybody. There's nobody there, and it's so much fun. And it's a floating bar that you have in the ocean. So where you have a mixologist preparing drinks to your liking, to your taste, and then you get to soak, get into the ocean, and it's knee deep high, that's what it is. And you walk to a little island called Little Ambergris, and powdery sand. You enjoy there. We do a perfect barbecue, so you have a chef and his team preparing a barbecue for you, being served by your butler, enjoying, soaking into the sun. And then, of course, you head back cruising, like, sunset cruise, come back, like, in the villa, quick change, or take a quick dip, in your pool, and then get ready for dinner, where, of course, like, you can dine, like, doing heavy floating platforms at Calico restaurant, where we have two of them. So we have a nice bonfire, company private, saxophone is playing for you, and and it's the sky, all really kind of witnessing you having a great time. I believe the island has quite a bit of history. I think educational trip, like, even traveling with kids is important. There's a lot of, like, history as well about Ambergris, from the ruins, which is like dating back to centuries, the caves and how the pirates came over here. So there's a lot of nice stories. There's also, like, a lot of fun part, wellness, which is kind of very important nowadays. We're making sure, we give an elevated sense of, like, of wellness when it comes here. It's not only about doing yoga or massages or, like, but taking care of your well-being, your food or what you're eating, making sure, like, we portion everything. Sustainability is really key for us as well. We've been investing quite heavily into sustainability because, as you know, we're not off the grid, on the grid, we're off the grid. So we're, like, on generators, but we have last year implemented solar panels. So we, like, invested into 1,440 solar panels to ensure, like, and we keep increasing our solar farm, bottling plant, cutting down, like, single-use plastic, and making sure zero waste. And when I say zero waste, it's real zero waste when it comes to kitchen, in terms of menu engineering and how you do. So all these are really important because that you're contributing something back to Mother Earth. That's what we want to be. And I want to be a leader in that, especially being a private island, where you have the autonomy, I would say, to do things differently. And that's why, like, we want to be one of the leaders. It depends on the client profile. You'll have some that, they want to stay in the villa. You don't really get to see them. It has happened. We had guests staying, like, like 70, 80 nights. You don't get to see them at all. But you do have guests, like, that will come out every single day. You do have those that like to party, like, we party. We had, like, Dream Pavilion, Lens End guests coming together, having a huge party in Dream Pavilion up to 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning. And nobody heard, like, nobody knew on the island there was a party going on. And except us, of course, we organized the DJ, we flew in the DJ and everybody else. But there was no sound being traveling around, like, will actually impact the other guest experiences. So, but guests do mingle. Guests do mingle. You have guests that mingle, become friends. You have guests that meet homeowners, recognize someone, because one of these top, like, 20, like, own, high net worth individual or celebrated ladies from the States or from anywhere else. And, like, they will, like, try to have a conversation and then become engaging. And they turn out to become new homeowners, like, because they want to be in the same community. And I think that's what's really welcoming here, because it's a small community. You go to certain places where you have residences where homeowners are not welcoming, they're not engaging. Here, they are part of the business, they are part of the community. Whoever comes in on board as well, understand how the community works, because it's a small island, it's a family. It's a small community. We all live here, so we are very careful of who we bring in. Like, even from a staff perspective, because you don't want to disrupt what you have built so far.